In a discussion about the question if games can be art, normally it doesn't take too long for somebody to bring up Child of Light. If you've ever taken a closer look at it, it was probably obvious to you that this is something special. Although that doesn't automatically mean that you would enjoy playing it. So I decided to take a little bit of a different approach to this game than I normally do. I'll take a, admittedly slightly simplified look at what makes art art, so we can see if Child of Light fits into that definition. You are watching The Gaming Greyhound, and after this I'm pretty sure you will know if you should play this game. Child of Light was released originally in 2014. You can get it on PC as well as every major console, even including the PlayStation Vita. In general, it got good reviews, but it was not universally loved by all the reviewers, which could be seen as our first little hint that this could be art. It looks like it turned a good profit, but I couldn't find any more specific numbers. However, they wouldn't have ported it to about any system possible if the sales wouldn't warrant for that. From time to time, Ubisoft also hinted at a sequel. Especially Patrick Plot, the creative director of the first game, seems to be still quite interested in developing a sequel. But as he himself has said in 2019 he wouldn't hold his breath, I would not hold my breath. As this is still a game, let's quickly discuss the gameplay. The art stuff will come after that. The game opens with a little girl called Aurora seemingly dying, but strangely waking in a land called Lemuria. Here she immediately meets a firefly named Igniculus, which quickly becomes her guide through this unknown place. The interesting thing here is that the player has control over Aurora as well as Igniculus at the same time. While Aurora is moved with the left stick, the firefly zips over the screen by using the right stick. Alternatively, as a great feature, Igniculus can also be controlled by a second player with a second controller. But as his role becomes quite vital during the fights in this land, be sure that your relationship with that second person is strong enough to survive that. From a gameplay perspective, it does not exactly break new ground, although it is a quite interesting combination of genres. It is a side-scrolling adventure in which you explore beautiful and diverse sceneries. You have the main story, but also a couple of side quests which will invite you to revisit earlier areas of the game. But Aurora doesn't have to open all the chests and collect every glowing plant by herself. Igniculus can also do that, and that will keep also a second player entertained. But you will discover the Firefly's real value in battle. The game uses an active time battle system. Here, a timeline will show you which friend or enemy will be the next to act. And this does not only depend on their individual speed. Igniculus is actually able to slow down enemies. And as there is a part in the timeline where you can interrupt enemies and enemies can interrupt you, this becomes very tactical. So be sure to grab a friend with mad fireflying skills. After battle, you will receive experience points and level up, which in turn enables you to strengthen your characters. But that's it for the gameplay for now. Let's look at the qualities of the game, and here specifically if they match up with the definition of art. There are tons of definitions out there, but I selected 3 of them to take a closer look at. Merriam-Webster tells us that art is the conscious use of skill and creative imagination, especially in the production of aesthetic objects. I'd like to argue that if you look at the artwork of the game, it might not be your favorite art style in the world, but I think you'll agree that it definitely can be called aesthetic. Looking at the character and the scenery, the design clearly shows creative imagination and also skill in the execution, and you could also include the technical work on the game here. The Cambridge Dictionary tells us that art is the making of objects, images, music, etc. that are beautiful or that express feelings. And I'll assure you, when you play the game and you're not a stone, you'll feel the feels. As this definition mentions music, let me state here how incredible the soundtrack of the game is. I really love it. I loved it when the game came out, and I still revisit it from time to time, and with it also some of those feels. The one issue I have regarding the different elements of the game is the text work. The creators decided to do almost everything in rhyme. That works very good in a lot of places in the game, but unfortunately it also feels forced in some of them. Collins Dictionary says, the arts are activities such as music, painting, literature, cinema and dance, which people can take part in for enjoyment. And if that list should not include gaming nowadays, you are closing your eyes to the cultural significance video games have reached. If it's alright with you to not dilute this any further, I'll skip over a deep analysis of the technical aspects of the game. It looks great, sounds great, and it runs pretty great on every platform. That's all you really need to know. So in summary, is this game art? As I said in the beginning, this is a somewhat simplified approach to that discussion. But to be honest, from my point of view, that's all it needs. You can probably find other definitions out there that do not 100% fit, or even seem to say that this game, or any game for that matter, cannot be art. But that's at the heart of the subject matter, isn't it? It's not always as clear as with the Mona Lisa or Michelangelo's David. Joseph Beuys took a bathtub and covered it in fat. Dalí created a telephone where the handset is a lobster. Not everyone would say that those two things are art. Something can be art without everyone agreeing that it is art. That doesn't mean everything is art. You still need creativity, intent and success in execution. So I won't do an open conclusion like you decide if it is art for you. If you ask me, yes, it is art. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment what you think. Is the game art? Can games even be art? What other games do you consider to be art? Looking forward what you have to say. You were watching The Gaming Greyhound? I would be very thankful if you subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much and goodbye. If you want to help me out, please subscribe, ring the bell. I'm pretty sure you have heard that in other videos before. Bye!